Well, she started getting sick in the 5th grade with some unknown, stomach pains. She didn't really get sick where it stopped us in our tracks until her freshman, sophomore year in high school. Her stomach doesn't work and her intestines don't work, and now she's needing surgery to bypass all those multiple organs that aren't working. And she has something neurological going on, so she just got really sick really fast. So we just take it one day at a time. Make-A-Wish kind of came into our lives last year because whatever process is going on with Isabelle, she was so sick in the hospital that they sent her home on hospice and they gave her a month to live. I reached out to Make-A-Wish and it was late. I think it was on a Sunday evening. Someone got a hold of me right away and said, we can make this happen in a week. Where does Isabelle want to go? And she had never seen the mountains, so she really wanted to go to the mountains. So we just thought if we could just prop her up in front of the fireplace, that would be just amazing for her to be able to look out and see the snow and the mountains. One day they had suggested that we drive to Vail, which is right next to Beaver Creek, and we could ride the gondola to the top of the mountain. And when we arrived, there was the most amazing representative of Vail. Her name is Nunu, and she's a ski instructor, and she said, Isabelle, do you want to go skiing today? And we were like, Isabelle can't ski. She's in a wheelchair. She's not walking. She's hooked up to oxygen. She's got all of these tubes coming out. And Nunu said, no, we're going to make this happen. Are you game? Can you do it? We rode up on the gondola and then she skied down. And it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. The look of freedom on her face it would just take your breath away because she felt like she was just free. Everything, all of the worries were just gone. It was amazing. By the time she got down at the bottom, her face was flushed, she was exhilarated. We knew something really special had happened.
I love Judith Northern.
She has dreams and aspirations just like the rest of us. And I want her to be able to fulfill those. She's super bright and she's very compassionate. So I just want what all parents want for their children, for her to be able to live a full way.
We all had to grow up pretty quickly, I think. It went from having a few doctors when I was younger to having a team of specialists for almost every area. I went from being pretty independent to relying on other people for everything, and it was like that for several years. Around the time when I had my wish, things had gotten pretty bad health-wise. Years of just a decline until things plateaued. And then I was able to get started on new treatments that gave me back function of my gut. So I got to start eating again and introducing food. And with that came relief of, oh my gosh, maybe the worst of it is over. The phase of trying to reconstruct things and repair, and that's been much more cathartic in the sense that it feels like it's not just this progressive decline. Now we're trying to go back up and stay stable. I'm 24 now, which is crazy to say because I was very scared what my early 20s would look like. I didn't know if I would get to that phase. I didn't know what it would look like. So every year that I get to live is exciting. I graduated from UW-Madison and I got to have the most fulfilling 4 years of my life, where I not only got to grow educationally, but also as a person, I got to really re-enter the world. I'll never forget looking at the mountains because it was one of those moments where the first time in years I was like, wow, as humans we are so small. I was like, all these worries that I have, there's so much more out there than just this. I painted a line that was here. Make-A-Wish kind of took my wish and what we mentioned in our family, and they took us all in one picture and they raised it to here. I think that really filled up our cups in terms of hope. The experience in and of itself was just so much beyond that. It was magic. So much of my future is unwritten, but in the best way possible. I get to be here and I get to experience and I get to tell and decide what I want my future to be. Now when I think about stories in my own life, I see the pages. There's so many more pages in my future, and I think when I was 16 I looked at the book of my life and it felt pretty thin, it felt pretty minute, and so now it feels like a big thick novel. For so long I stopped feeling like I could dream and envision things because it just felt pretty dim. And so to be here now and to be living and to be myself and to explore, I'm living the future that I stopped dreaming of. So now I remind myself to try to dream fearlessly because I have that opportunity and I have that privilege.